Ever hear that phrase, he got up on his soapbox? That's a phrase from back in the day when if somebody like Randy had a message he wanted to deliver, he couldn't get on TV, couldn't get on the radio, the newspapers weren't reporting on it. Randy would be tenacious enough to where he'd go to a street corner, maybe Market and Van Ness in San Francisco, put down a soapbox, get up on the soapbox, and just have at it. Randy would deliver his message to everyone that walked by. If Bill and Robin were walking by that same street corner and they got to hear Randy's speech, they might be interested in his cause. And they might join Randy and be part of his team. On the other hand, if Dennis and Michael were walking to that same street corner 30 minutes later, Randy would be gone and there would be no evidence that anybody delivered a message. Now let's fast forward. It's 2022. We are living in the golden age of self-expression. My goal today in this presentation is to inspire you to be as excited about this golden age as I am. Now, did you happen to read the article that was in Toastmasters magazine about a month ago, where Darren LaCroix talked about the 77-day public speaking challenge? About 3 years ago, Darren encouraged his Stage Time University students, and now he's encouraging Toastmasters all over the world to simply take to Facebook, Instagram, or whatever social media platform you choose and do a video every day for 77 days. When I did the challenge in the fall of 2019, I learned three things. Number one, we are not only living in the golden age of self-expression, we are living in the golden age of attention deficit disorder. When we make presentations, less is more. The key is to be as concise as you can. If we can deliver a message that was originally 15 minutes long in 12 minutes, we are golden. The next thing I learned was when I'm looking at myself on the device, I am not making eye contact. And as we're making more virtual presentations, it takes a mindset and it takes a little bit more effort to actually make sure we're looking at the camera, and the camera is our eye contact to our audience. Number three, there are a multitude of platforms out there. And as I went through the process of the public speaking challenge, I fell in love with podcasting. And over the past 3 years, I have had the opportunity to interview people from all over the spectrum on different subjects. About 18 months ago, I had the pleasure and the honor of interviewing people from different religious faiths about their views on forgiveness. I had an interview with a Christian leader, a Jewish rabbi, an Islamic imam, and a Hindu leader on how their faith interpreted forgiveness and where forgiveness fits in. I went to my passion of baseball about a year ago, and I had the pleasure of interviewing Brian Johnson, a former San Francisco Giant who hit one of the most exciting home runs in San Francisco Giant history. And this past Saturday, the day before yesterday, I released a podcast episode featuring the beautiful Mrs. Geraldine Day, who is the widow of Baseball Hall of Famer Leon Day, who pitched in the 1930s and 40s in the Negro Leagues, where African Americans played professional baseball before the major leagues were integrated. Now, you might be sitting there listening and saying, well, that's great for you, Steve. I'm glad you're happy doing your podcast. What does that mean to me? Well, it's a golden age of self-expression for me, but it's also the golden age of self-expression for you. What's your passion? Is your passion cooking? Could you write a weekly blog on cooking ideas and recipes? Is your passion photography? Could you build a social media presence displaying the photography work you've done or giving tips? How about travel? Could you build your own travel website, giving tips and telling stories about trips you've been on? There's something in this golden age of self-expression for everyone. Whether you speak, whether you sing, whether you scribble your ideas on a piece of paper, whether you dance, draw, or doodle. There's a platform out there where you can spread your ideas far and wide. And the best part is, you don't have to ask anyone for permission.